what you know to be true, what you know to be fact. It's very difficult to go home and just leave the case behind. If I'm at home with my family, I'm still getting emails that are tips related to this case. So then your mind starts working. And it's almost like the more I'm doing this job, the more you can doubt your ability, because people, they continuously surprise you. Someone that you initially thought had nothing to do with this can turn out to be a prime suspect. Absolutely everyone has that ability to lie.
What the answer is.
Just after 6 a.m., the parents of Erica Brown contacted 911 to report their daughter, Erica Brown, missing. That call was transferred to a Canal County deputy.
2K Sports and the PGA Tour proud to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx
Erica's
Cup.
parents were
Today's
concerned
coverage of the
when
World
her mother
Championship
woke up that
is about
morning
to begin. Pleased you can join us for this first round action. Hello everyone, Luke Elder alongside Ricky Beam, and Rich. This FedEx Cup season has been a beauty for this player. Handling it nicely, don't seem to be under any real pressure.
No, they've been going along quite smoothly this season. I have to say I'm very impressed. I'm looking forward to seeing them compete
Saturday,
for the
my
FedEx Cup
parents had actually
playoffs.
taken Erica.
Can't wait to see what unfolds.
She got her new backpack, her new clothes, her new shoes, and that evening she had sat everything out. She was excited to go back to high school and start a new school year.
Erica's parents said that there were no arguments.
Oh,
And
good drive.
it was a
That one
normal
should find the
weekend
fairway.
at the Brown family household. It was also noticed that one of the new outfits that they purchased for school was
From
missing.
around 180 yards out.
After my mom realized she was missing, she called the police. She reported her missing, and she posted to social media
Dang.
that Erica was missing, and for everyone to be on the lookout for her and to contact her if they had seen her. Erica, she had ran off once or twice, just ran
Got a
off
bad
with
approach
friends,
that
I
one.
think.
Quite
And he
inside the
does.
birdie range, but you
And
never know.
She
Oh,
always
long
came
one.
back.
Still
and
counts.
Slim
while
chance
it's
here
not
for
any
birdie,
different.
but you never
she's
know.
gonna come back. She's not missing. She's just out with a friend.
We receive a lot of missing person reports over a period of weeks and months as far as that goes. So
Big
it's not
chance
unusual
here.
Again!
to receive,
Ah!
missing people,
What a putt that is!
especially for teams.
Absolutely love to see those going in early. It sets the tone for the rest of the day.
Well, I'd like to have one more look at
See that one again. Oh.
Erica Brown's parents provided a physical description, which was she's 16 years old, Caucasian female, approximately 5'1".
What an absolute
about 100
ripper.
pounds. She has long,
Currently
sandy
1
blonde
under
hair,
for the day.
and
Making birdie the first always puts you in a good frame of mood. It'll be fun to watch the round
after
progress.
officers take the initial report,
Pretty
they
sure
know
this
from the
player will be buoyed
parents
by that
that
birdie back at the
they
last.
tried to contact
Let's see if they
herself
can deliver
many
another one.
times, and that initially the phone would ring a couple times and go to her voicemail. And the case was handed to the detective bureau the next
Well, I like the look of the line here. They should find the fairway.
They really had nothing to go on that day.
In past experience, we felt that we were hopeful, obviously, that she would have come home within a day or two.
Playing this shot from around 120 yards.
So that morning I called my mom and asked if she was home, and my mom said no. And immediately after that, my husband, he actually went and picked up my father and started searching for me.
Being
Wow,
involved in
what a
this
shot.
case,
Absolutely.
this agency,
In there close.
it's fairly
Good
common.
look at birdie
In
coming up.
99% of those cases, it's a child who was just
And now intrepid on course reporter,
parent.
John standing by.
I was really scared.
at Gary Woodland.
What really got me was she wasn't answering herself, and I messaged her on Facebook, I texted her.
And that's a
just
good putt to
Let
hold
me know.
any day of the week. But what a way to make it move to
do
the
what
top
you
of the
want, but
leaderboard.
let me know you're okay.
And back to the course with the live action.
It was very similar to
9-foot chance
other
here.
runaway cases we have worked. We hoped that she was going to return within 24 to 48 hours, perfectly fine.
Putt is underway.
With the
Down
chance
it
now
goes. So that's
elevated to the
back-to-back
detective
birdies.
view.
Gotta say, putting this well from this distance is a huge confidence booster.
During the
Don't be a
investigation,
couple under
we
for the
did go
round.
to Erica Brown's house. The parents were.
Always positive coming off a birdie. Let's see what happens here.
They were hoping to find, maybe a letter she had left behind that the parents weren't aware of or couldn't locate. We hoped to find a journal.
That is
We hoped to
right
find
down the
phone
sprinkler
numbers,
line.
anything that might put us on the right track. The bedroom was a typical teenage girl's bedroom. Somewhat messy, clothing floor.
Time for the second shot into
Nothing
the
that
third.
stood out to us other than a typical teenager's room. It appeared, with the window ajar, with the way her parents found her bedroom, it appeared that she likely left on her own free will.
It's
and
got
had
this thing
everything
dialed in here, looking good.
Detective Spurlock, he was aware that
Oh, that's a lovely
there were
looking shot
occasions Erica
into
Brown
birdie
would
range here at the third.
run away from her home. He actually recalled the name Erica Brown and recalled working a previous case involving her.
My parents, they live out in
Turn! Yes!
Yeah, nice mid-range birdie putt, that one.
Gotta say, putting this well from this distance is a huge confidence booster.
And down the driveway, there's the
Let's head
road.
over to the fourth hole.
From the location of my parents' house, Erica, someone had to have picked her up.
This would be a great up and down.
Or buses or anything like that, someone had to have gotten her.
Oh, that's
She'd
all
be gone
class.
for hours before she
Oh,
made it
gotta love it. Chip it in for birdie. Nothing better.
And after this hole, that's how it looks.
We have several
Teeing off
cases
here at the
we
fourth.
usually deploy.
Nice
to,
birdie back there. On
whether
to the
it be
next.
bloodhounds or tracking dogs. The normal procedure is to get an
Looks to
item
be going with the
from
five
the
line.
individual that the dog's
Look at the line on this one. Get in the hole. How close was that to going in the hole? Great
And
shot.
obviously that threw up more red flags for us to.
Well, that certainly makes
to
putting
try
a
to
lot easier
locate.
when you can hit a shot like that.
My
Well, this would be a good putt to hold.
They searched
This
for her
will
every
move you into
day.
first place.
And my aunt, and my brother and I, we actually went out and put up flyers and we had a lot of
Looking better.
Yes!
Mark it down. That's birdie number 4 today. And that will take him to 4 under. And with that, they move into first place.
The lead is
We
getting
were very
bigger
concerned
and
about
bigger.
Erica having a cell phone. We can
And
often
after
get a lot
birdie
of
in the last,
information from a
let's
person's
take the
cell
on the
phone.
hole.
And that's the weird thing of cell phone. It rang for about 2 days, and then I want to say it was on the third day it started going into voicemail.
It was a factor that her phone was turned
Well, we
off.
should find the short grass.
Therefore, we opted to do what's called an electronic intercept order. And what we hoped that would do was get us a GPS location of the last known place where her phone was.
Another birdie opportunity coming up
So that
for
was
this player.
applied for and
Good
received.
start to the day. Let's
And
hope
what we
they can
learned was it
keep
was
up the
giving
good
us no
form.
GPS coordinates. The phone
Going with the
data
9-9, I think.
72 hours
Six.
into the
Come on,
investigation,
back.
the police still have no leads. Erica Brown had vanished without a trace.
That was wonderfully done. A chance to move to 5 under par.
The disappearance of 16-year-old Erica Brown had prompted a full police investigation. 72 hours into the search, Erica's phone had gone dead. Erica Brown had seemingly left home and vanished without a trace.
Come on! Get in! Oh, come on!
And a nice one to hold.
So close!
Can make this one.
knocking
It's
on
for
doors
par.
and talking to people, asking
Oh,
Well
man.
done. Let's move on.
There was a reason she was
There was a reason.
Now 2 shots up after that
My
one.
brother, he was freaking out too.
no one had any information that was going to help us find Erica Brown.
Let's see what happens here on the 6th.
I had placed my number, my husband's number on the flyer, and we never received a phone call. We never received a text message, not a hint, or I think she may be here, never. It was literally like she just disappeared.
Ah.
This one to kick right.
Obviously, everybody's concern is heightened. Law enforcement concern is heightened. Her parents were very concerned. She had
Yes,
no
any time you can
self-respect.
find the green and have a putt, you'll take it.
On the second day, canvassing the neighborhood, we got what we thought was a really
John,
good
what's
potential
going
lead.
on out there?
We spoke to a man who said that about 5
Down
to
here
6
on the
weeks
7th
prior
guys.
to
Bryce into
Erica's
Shamrocks next
missing,
shot.
he had observed
This
Erica
is their
in a
fifth
white
shot.
Chevrolet pickup truck with an older gentleman.
Oh,
Her
that
brother
one just missed the
mentioned
hole.
that he said that he had seen her
You went in,
you
pass by
idiot.
his house frequently, and that it was somebody he believed she was going out to meet. That person who provided the tip
Okay,
showed us
let's
the
get back to the
location where
action.
he saw Erica in this
This
truck,
putt will take them to 5
which is
under
kind of a
par.
secluded wooded area just down the road from her home. So we believe that maybe this was a meeting place for her. Looking into that tip further, it was discovered the man
Get in there.
that was involved in that incident.
That should limit the
And then
damage.
further follow-up
Nicely
was
done.
done.
And with that, you'll move to 5 under par.
It was determined that
Now, current leader is up by 3
he had
shots.
not recently met up with Erica Brown, that he was not going to be further involved in her investigation.
Teeing off here at the 7th.
Oh, everybody knew. Everybody knew that she was missing by then.
Media was notified fairly quickly that we were searching for a missing female.
Hold of the news, all over social media. You know, everybody was spreading the word. Everybody really wanted.
Pretty good shot there.
At the time I knew she was coming home, I knew she was just, you know, one side of me thought she had just ran off, and another side of me
Looks
thought
like they're going for the
someone's
green.
got-
Good aggressive play here.
Down. Down, down.
someone's not
Oh,
letting her cross.
stop.
It's for a young lady to leave her home and be gone for
Well,
so
that's
many
good boy
days.
golf right there.
It's very unlikely.
Always like the
It's
aggressive
something
play,
that doesn't
going
really
for it
happen.
too and get rewarded for it.
Yeah,
Well, it'd be
usually
nice to make this
1 or 2
This one's
days.
for Eagle.
And in this case, nothing. No tips, no information.
The location of the Brown home is in a rural area.
Come on, get up
in
there.
County.
Turn.
It's accessible.
That's in. What a shot.
The house sits in the
Yes.
middle. I would
Eagle.
That will take him to 6.
Woo.
We knew that Erica would
Fucking
have
hell.
walked
Look
down
at
her
that shot.
driveway.
Gorgeous.
And very likely been picked up by
Sexy.
someone who had a vehicle.
The paper said, my brother, he had actually said that he thought there were maybe some people
Look
in the
at
local
that.
area that
Oh.
Erica was in, so
Unbelievable.
they went
Our current leader
up to
enjoys
my
a
neighborhood
5-shot
and they knocked
advantage.
on the houses, doors, and they put flyers in the mailbox.
We have a par 4 on this one.
Sexy
Every day
golf.
got worse. Just every time they'd go somewhere and say, well, she wasn't there, it got scarier.
We suspected that maybe she had met with someone who maybe was making promises to her.
Good
We
looking shot
wondered if
this.
she could have offered gifts or material things by someone that, you know, things that she didn't have at home that at the time she thought, well, this is nice and I kind of like where I'm at.
Second shot here
What we
on the
thought.
way.
The Kanawha County detectives were now 6 days into the investigation. Neighborhood canvassing had brought in no
This
leads,
one's going right to
and
pin
Erica
here.
Brown's phone was still not responding.
A great shot here at the 8th and a chance for birdie.
I'm 6 years older, and then there's my
John,
brother. He's 3
What's going on? Talk to us, Goose.
baby.
Hey guys, I'm over
She's
here on
always
the
been the
9th.
baby,
This is
always
Tony
been
Finau's next
spoiled.
shot.
Erica, she wasn't really your average.
What a shot!
you know.
Almost went in the
She
bucket.
wasn't the.
It did go in the bucket.
Cared much about
Oh,
it.
trying to hit a little
Jesus,
shot
get the
in
commentary
the
sorted,
two.
man.
Perfection. What a shot
She walked
indeed.
horses, she was that's over. She
Just
took
straightforward
pictures of them.
4-footer coming up
She
here.
always went horses.
Mark it
Whenever
down,
my dad,
that's 6
you
birdies
know, moved
today.
out from the
And
room,
with that,
he
we'll
got
move to 8 under par. Awesome
She
play.
walked.
But 4
Now,
years
Orson.
after
Has
Erica's
enjoyed a
disappearance,
6-stroke
the Brown
advantage.
family suffered their first
Here we are at
major
the final
incident.
hole on the front 9.
On December 18th of 2010, there was a horrible house fire at my parents' home. My brother, he had went into the house fire.
This looks to be
and
heading
he
to
Down.
brought my little sister out.
Down, down.
He was on fire and he had burnt 97% of his body. died.
That's good. Not bad.
We didn't know if he was going to make
This one
it.
here,
He
this
was
is for
transferred
back-to-back
to a
birdies,
unit
moving
for
him in the
children
right
in
direction.
Cincinnati. And at that point, that's when I asked if I could take my sister with me.
Come on.
Erica,
It's on
she
a great
came to
line.
me.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Seven
Oh,
birdies
my
today.
God.
Gotta like it.
We
2 in a
were
row.
really
He's
close.
feeling it.
Patting well today.
After
And now
about
we
2
head to the
years, my
17th.
parents, they got my
This
brother
happened
out of
just
the
a moment
hospital.
ago.
He was doing
Let's
great.
take a look at Gary Goodman from earlier.
You know, we decided
Good
that
look here for a
it was time
second
her
shot.
to move back in with our parents and continue her normal life. There was this church right across the street from where she lived with my parents. And she was very involved in the church. Every Sunday, every Wednesday,
And after that
she
hole,
actually
this is how the
would
leaderboard
go
looks
and make
right now.
cookies for the senior
Our
home.
current leader is
She
up by a
loved
whopping
it. She's
7
very
shots
involved.
now.
She got baptized.
It's time to
The
begin these
behind
powerful
closed
holes.
doors, the teenage Erica Brown was exploring life beyond her home and church. She was beginning to use social media and online chat rooms to communicate with strangers.
That looks to be a fairway finder to me.
He had become aware that Erica was meeting up with men that she had met online. I think she
Time for the second shot at the tip.
Cool, we're gonna hang out. At 16, you're a kid, and you don't know any better. My parents
Ooh,
obviously,
back there
they
was-
were very worried about her, and they checked her into a psychiatric unit to try to get her.
That's well played. Anything on the green from there was fine. But in for birdie.
Erica's
Short game has
friends
been
mentioned
especially
that
sharp
she
today, Luke.
had a few
Very
older
impressive.
men that
Short
she
game
was in
speed.
contact with.
Awesome.
But the friends didn't express that Erica had ever told them she was concerned for her safety or anything like that.
As Erica's family and local law enforcement continued to
This
search
one's
for
looking
any
good.
clues as to her
Yes.
What a performance. 8 birdies on the card.
and detectives go returns the Brown family
Leading by
home.
8 strokes now after that hole.
We had returned back to the
Teeing
ground
off here
residence
at the 11th.
and retrieved all of Erica's digital devices, to include cell phones, computers. About at the same time, we had done a search warrant requesting all cell phone records, hoping that that might give us information. What we had hoped to find from the cell phone records was the user's call logs, call history, that will include the phone numbers of the person.
Around
that she was in contact
220
with.
yards.
But as police began to sift through Erica's digital footprint, they found an alarming discovery.
Upon examining the digital devices of Erica,
Get up there. Come on.
we discovered that she was a fairly frequent user of Craigslist.
That's it. Get up there.
And
Oh,
we found
look at
a
this.
post that Erica had made where she was said in the post she would do anything for money, and I am a girl.
Well, that's a
and provided
tremendous shot and
phone
sets up a
number to
wonderful
keep contact
opportunity.
with that.
Dare I say, Luke, this player has been in
At this point in the
fuego with his
investigation,
approach shots.
what we have is
Another green in
a
regulation.
16-year-old girl using Craigslist, possibly naive, placing herself in situations with older men that could very well have been dangerous.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Right by the hole.
So it really,
Oh, how
really
good was
goes up to
that?
you.
Almost
It
an
really
E.
makes you think,
Always
something-
nice when you can just
something
go ahead
serious,
and
very
tap one in
serious.
for birdie. And after that effort, let's take a look at how it stands.
Let's go to our man John on the ground. There's something brewing down there.
Now
Let's find out what it
send agents the
is.
search for 16-year-old Erica Brown.
Oh,
Detectives had dug deeper into Erica's
what a
online history.
great stroke.
The
Oh,
discovery
what a lovely putt to make.
Craigslist
And a spot in the top 5 also with a great shot.
Erica's safe return.
And after that effort, this is how the field is shaping
The
up.
Craigslist post.
Our leader is
Erica
currently
Brown
enjoying an
says
8-shot
that
advantage.
he's a female and will do anything for money.
Quite often the
It was actually
hardest hole in
posted
golf,
August
a long
3rd,
par 4.
2014. So between August 3rd and the time we believe that she went missing on August the 10th, there were several days of dialogue and communication that had taken place as a result of that Craigslist post. There were multiple individuals that had replied and had been in
That should find the
communication
fairway.
with Erica Brown. So that posed multiple individuals for us to look at and locate as a potential suspect.
My parents thought it was in the past. They thought it was fixed. They thought she wasn't going to do it again.
John, Do you have any info
My
down
husband
there?
had actually called,
Just down on the
I believe it
14th
was
call
detective,
now,
but
guys.
he had
Yeah,
told
just
him
went
that
his next shot.
they were going through the list
40
of people she had been
to the
talking
cup.
to. List? Were you talking about list? Like, how is there a list of people she's talking to?
Oh, so
We have
close.
no idea. That's when I started thinking, someone's holding
Let's get
her.
back to it,
Someone's
shall we?
not letting her go home. Someone's
And this
not
shot
letting her
from about
contact us.
150 yards out.
You know, her phone's now off. Monday was the first day of school. She wanted to go to school. Where is she?
Oh,
Why
this is on a
isn't she
fantastic
getting
line. Is it the
contact?
right distance?
Stop!
Getting ready to play their third.
At this point, we feared that Erica had met up with someone as a result of that Craigslist post, and that person very well could be who Erica was with.
Come
We
on.
realized that the number that Erica
Oh,
had
lovely.
provided as a
Right
contact
goes.
number
And
for her
with
on
it, the
Craigslist
increase of his
is
lead.
actually
And it's
a
worth
number
taking
that
another
was
look at that
attached
one.
with a Text Plus app. So we were able to access the Text Plus app and get a list of the actual phone numbers that had contact with her. We now had phone numbers, and we could attempt to
Pick it
link
out!
those phone numbers to
Sitting at
name
12 under par for the
and other
event.
identifying information. Some very helpful information was learned from
And they'd be
Erica's
feeling
cell
buoyed with
phone
confidence
data.
after that birdie. It's a
What
good
it did
chance
was
to
show
maintain the
us
momentum.
cell phone towers that her phone had accessed. And it revealed that her phone had traveled north on Interstate
This one
77.
looks to be heading for the
And
sanctuary of the
The
fairway.
last cell phone tower that it had accessed.
Oh, what the fuck?
Along the Ohio
Terrible bait!
Luke,
It appeared that
Jeez.
Erica had
unfortunately,
traveled
that got a
approximately 70
horrible
miles
kick. Ended up in the
from
rough.
Which seemed
here
like
we
an
are
odd
with the
thing to
third
do,
shot.
to meet up with a man that you don't know and agree to drive an hour away from your home with them in the middle of the night.
Well, that's very crafty, isn't it?
Police's
You
best
better
mate
believe
was
it
now
is
to
great
track down the
stuff to
individual
watch.
who had made contact
John's
with
down on the
Erica
course, and do you
via
have a
the
better look at this
Craigslist
line?
post.
They
Some of those
are
men said, I
into
never
some
did meet with her
deep,
face to face.
deep rough here.
Oh,
There
Alex.
were some who
Let's
said we
watch,
did meet face
see
to
what they can
face.
do.
But those people
Opting for the
were
fine
cleared
line.
as a suspect and weren't believed to have anything to do with her disappearance. Our degree of concern is definitely high that she could definitely be in danger. One
It's fair to
particular
say that
man
that approach
we
didn't
knew
hit the
had been in
mark.
contact with
What a
Erica
shame.
a few days prior to her
There's hit a lot of greens
disappearance,
today,
using the
just not at
Craigslist
this occasion.
ad. And upon interviewing him,
Oh,
said he
absolutely
was
flush.
actually in contact with her
9
the night
feet
of her
to the cup.
disappearance.
Oh,
and
what the
was
hell?
going to come meet with her.
Fuck's sake.
So this particular individual.
Oh, that is an awful putt.
To
Jesus.
meet with Erica
Loose.
on
Oh
that
my
night.
god, what was that?
Just putting right on 10 feet. A good one to make.
However, his
Jesus
GPS
Christ.
had guided him in the wrong direction, and he never could find her residence. We had some doubt and some concern.
I
that
fucking believe this!
he was not being honest.
Do you want to drop any more shots? Let's make this
We
for
will
double.
use the phrase that he was a person of interest.
Fuck
Putt
off.
drops.
Previously,
We're
we
moving
talked
it.
to her through Craigslist
Leading
and
by a
Google
whopping
Graphs,
7
trying to
shots.
Double fucking bull.
communicate with this underage
Unbelievable.
girl
Welcome to this
and
hole. What's a
arranged to
par
meet
for?
with her.
Oh, let's
Then
hope
the
that
night
double
she's
bogey in the last
disappearing,
doesn't
he's
haunt
also
them here.
communicating with
That
her.
was tough.
Was there any contact beyond what messages we had already seen? Did he have something to do with her continued disappearance? On the 18th of August, he was brought in for a polygraph test.
These fixtures on his fingers.
Second shot
He
here
has
on the
changes
14.
on the surface of the skin.
It's critical when doing a polygraph test, if you're a law enforcement officer, not to display your firearm or your badge. There's
Yeah, with the
we
6
want
iron
nothing
here.
done that could be considered coercive. The door doesn't even lock, it won't even latch fully. No barrier between them and the door. There's nothing to keep them here other than their own determination to tell the truth.
Getting ready to play their third.
During the test, he answered the questions consistent with his story, saying he'd never met with Erica. He never did see her. He had texted with her. He'd had a phone call with her.
Get
He
in.
was never able to actually locate her.
Yes.
Just surging ahead at the top of the
After the
leaderboard.
charts were scored,
Why not take another look at that effort?
he passed. So we believe that his story could hold water, even though it was unlikely. But after he passed the test, we believe that we may find more evidence to support his account, and we should start looking at other suspects as well.
It was another dead end. with
Now,
that
8 shots in
individual.
front. The honour is yours. Time to hit the
Power
one here in the
records
15th.
were obtained from all major cell phone carriers in the county, even continuing north. That massive amount of records were transferred into an Excel spreadsheet, which we had hoped would make it easier to decipher through and easier to determine a phone number of the person who may
Yeah,
have
that'll
traveled
work.
the
That's
same
fine.
path as Erica Brown.
This effort from Tony Finau just a short time ago.
A list of photos
Second shot here.
that he was interested in, and we needed to pinpoint if any of those numbers had communicated
Nice putt to
any
make
of the
that
same
one.
cell towers that Ms. Brown's phone number had also communicated with. We had over 200,000 rows of
And
data
back to the course for the
to
live
work with.
action. Playing from around
Pressure
230
was
yards.
there. The sense of urgency was definitely there. It did feel
Going with the
like
hybrid.
looking for real eggs.
Get up there, come on.
As the Kanawha County Sheriff's Office data team attempted to filter through the
Oh, bollocks!
Erica's
And here we
family
are with the third
continued
shot.
their search for the teenager.
What an opportunity to make a
My
birdie.
husband, he had spent 20 days driving around, you know, he would go to random places, you know, gas stations,
This one has eyes for the hole.
everywhere, you name it, he requires and
Oh,
It's just about 3 feet away.
people working.
Job done. Let's head to the next. Our current leader is enjoying an 8-stroke advantage. Teeing off here on the 16th hole. And after that par, looking for something good here.
Once we started delving into
Looks
the
to be
abundance
going
of
with a
cell phone
hybrid here.
numbers that we knew had been in contact with Erica, we came across a particular number.
Oh, great
that was
shot.
Actually, a landline.
look at that!
We were able to determine that landline
Perfect.
to
Pay attention,
a phone,
folks.
which
That's how you
was
play golf.
situated outside of the gas station.
And
in
that putt will
Sissonville.
drop, and he'll extend his lead.
Upon going to that particular gas station, we go marked.
And maintaining top spot on the leaderboard. After that,
To determine who would use the payphone.
here we have a long par 4.
We
It's going to
reviewed
take
that
2 great
surveillance
shots to
video
get
and
on.
saw that a white male had used the payphone at that same time, that we knew it was in contact with Erica's cell phone. And could even see
That was
his
bubbled. Great drive.
It was a grayish colored sedan. However, we didn't recognize the individual in the video, and we could not see the license plate on that vehicle. We knew
Second
that
shot
the
here
white
on the
male we were
17th
seeing
hole.
in that surveillance video was in telephone contact with Erica, but
Going with the 8 iron
we
here.
had no further information
This
about his
one is
involvement with
chewing
in this
fiber.
investigation. We knew, based on
Stop.
the information obtained in the cell phone records, Erica Brown and her cell
Left
phone
yourself an opportunity.
left her home
This one for
around
back-to-back
1:30 in the
birdies.
morning and had traveled north. We also knew that the last contact made from Erica Brown's phone occurred around 4 a.m.
This one's online.
Yes!
We didn't know
Well,
what happened
hole
to that.
Beauty.
birdie.
I like it. 2 in a row.
Currently 13 under for the event, while leader has already bolted, currently way out in front of them.
From data analysis had
Lovely
identified
momentum for
a
this
payphone
player after that
used to
birdie at the
contact
last hole.
Erica
Keep it
Brown on
rolling.
the night of her disappearance. A CCTV sweep of the petrol station revealed an unidentified white male. The Kanawha County Sheriff's Office IT team continued to attempt to overlay the phone data to find a match with Erica's last known movements.
Left nothing in the tank on that one. That was
One
pummeled.
aspect of this that I definitely will not forget is when we were working with the data and continuing to narrow down numbers that fit the criteria.
Taking aim from around
There
240
was a
yards
certain
out here.
number that fit all of the criteria that was being looked at. Detective Don Spurlock turned to me and said, "That's
It's
it."
a brave one.
That's the
Driver
one.
off the deck.
Ah, it's too hard. Too hard.
To a man named Ernest Roach.
Fuck's sake. What the hell?
Ernest Roach's cell
Getting
phone
ready to
number
play there,
was the
Phil.
only one determined to have traveled the same path as Erica Brown's cell phone, placing him in the same locations as her cell phone. And then we also learned that there had been previous communication.
Well, this will be good for the
between them based
momentum.
on her
Let's
cell
make this
phone
birdie
tracking.
putt.
On August 27th, 2014, we decided to go and locate Ernest Roach. To get from my office to Ernest Roach's location in
Stroke.
Lawrence County, Ohio.
Ooh,
That signs off on today's round.
Great right.
Desolate area surrounded by cornfields. Where we located him was
What the
actually in
fuck?
tent in the yard in front of his aunt's residence.
what the hell?
When we arrived, we did observe the gray
Jesus
sedan
Christ.
parked near the tent, and it appeared to be the same gray sedan that we saw in that surveillance video. So we felt confident that we were on the right track of finding that particular individual that made the phone call. Ernest Roach was located inside of the tent. He signed a consent form allowing us to search his car and his tent. He was very nervous, and it just seemed very unlikely that that was going to be a place Erica Brown would choose to be. I noticed that Mr. Roach was wearing a gray t-shirt, and it resembled the gray t-shirt that he was wearing in that surveillance video. And I also noticed that there was a hair that was entangled in the shirt. It was a long hair. So just on the chance that that hair could have belonged to Erica Brown, we opted to collect that hair as evidence. And subsequently he agreed to go to the local police station where he was interviewed.
Hi, sir. I'm Detective Powell from the Canal County Sheriff's Office. This is my partner, Detective Howard. So let's learn a little bit about you. You like to be called Ernie, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you're wondering why we're here.
Oh, phew.
Why we come from West Virginia to talk to you. What do you think? Do you have an idea?
I do. I talked to this girl on the internet, and she was on Craigslist or whatever. And I talked to her, and she was like trying to make money or whatever. So I was like, okay. And I mean, I don't normally do that. I mean, that sounds weird, but I just, like I said, I just broke up with my girlfriend. I wasn't really trying to like have a girlfriend, but I thought it would be nice to hang out or something. You know what I mean?
During the interview, Mr. Rose admitted that he did meet Erica Brown, and in fact he met with her on the night that she went missing.
Whenever I got there, I picked her up, and she was like super, like she wasn't as old as she said she was. So I was like,
He was nervous.
I didn't know what to do, and then she was like, well, you have to take me to Parkersburg. And I was like, oh, I can't take you to Parkersburg, you know what I mean? So we drove for a little bit, and I was like, well, look, you have to go home. I'm sorry about your
Hello and
situation
welcome
with
back
your
to our
parents.
coverage of this
He
PGA
claimed,
Tour
however,
event already in
that the
progress.
last place he saw her was in the Ravenswood area.
We're picking up action on the 18th hole.
And she jumped
Lucky
out,
us.
and I'm getting out, and I'm like, don't do this. You gotta go home. You know what I mean? She was like, I'm not going home.
And that'll be all
I got
she
somebody else, and she just was cussing me and all kinds of stuff, and she was over the phone like, period, like,
So there you have it, in the house, in top spot after the opening round.
Someone else
Everyone
picked
likes to
her
get
up
off to a
there
fast start, and they certainly have.
Yes, but it's a very strange
and
position to be in because you feel like it's yours to lose,
He did not know.
but it's also yours to win. I mean, which way are you looking at it? Hopefully, they're thinking it's mine to win, and I'm gonna grab it tomorrow.
So
Well,
towards the
on
end of
behalf
the
of
interview, I
myself,
asked
Richard,
Mr.
and all-
Roach if he would be willing to take a polygraph examination that could possibly help clear him from our investigation. He agreed to do so, and we set up a date. He was going to meet us at the Ravenswood Police Department to take the polygraph the next day.
On the 28th of August, Ernest Roach said he would meet us in the Craigengoran to take a polygraph to prove that he was telling us the truth and that he's not been involved with Eric.
As time passed, it just became clear that Mr. Roach was not
It's
going
PGA
to show
Tour
up.
event brought to you by Tuco Sports.
We're waiting
We're at
here
the
in the
World
bridge for about an
Championship.
hour, hour and a half.
Today's
for him to come
coverage
across
is
and
about
meet
to
us,
start.
and we're supposed to come here to
Pleased you
the
can
range
join us
of
for this
the
final round
but he
action.
never showed.
I remember Mr. Roach
Guilty.
Here alongside Rich Beeman, it's the final round here, Rich. What's that next player up against as they begin?
Never easy going to bed with the lead,
He
and
searched
they're out here
his
today.
house.
It's probably weighing on them a little bit. I gotta say though, this player has been playing well. That's why they have the lead. So they have to be excited and they have to like their chances going into this final round.
It's all set up to be a beauty.
At
Let's
this
see
point,
how
we've
it
got
unfolds.
digital evidence and photo records that point toward Mr. Roach being involved. You have evidence that he came and picked her up and met her someplace. You have her phone going dead after traveling with his phone. You've got a lot of things that point
That's
to
heading
him.
for the
And then
fairway.
he flees. He leaves. X marks the spot. And that was Ernest Roach, right there at the X. That's where so many things say did further here.
230, Jesus.
Time for the second shot
Even
into the
wherever
first.
he was, he could be in 3 or 4 different states within a very short period of time.
All resources were on board,
Opting for the
essentially to
hybrid, I think.
locate Ernest Roach.
Might be one
Too
touch
hard.
too many.
To
Too
everywhere
hard.
he knew his family lived, where his friends were, any place where he might have conceivably been.
Ah,
Okay, not the best result, but a chance to get up and down.
Around
Missing it
4:35
long with that approach, not a
We're
good
dealing with a
lead.
very serious situation.
Getting
Our
ready to
number one
play there,
suspect,
third.
Ernest Roach, is now on the run, and we can't locate him.
The
Oh,
search for
fuck off.
Ernest Roach had mobilized law enforcement across state lines from both West Virginia and neighboring Ohio. All available police officers had joined the hunt to find police's prime
Wasn't
suspect.
quite hit it, did
The
you?
hope was the sooner we can find
6
him,
feet
the sooner
remaining
we
to
could
the
find
cup.
her. Maybe he would
Good
lead us to
stroke.
where he had held her or where she
Oh,
had
wonderful
had
effort.
last
Confirms the
seen her.
par.
We just knew that there was something more to be found if we could just find her.
Currently in first position.
We
And
thought
I
that
don't
there
know
was
if the
many
rest of the
people
field
we
is up
could,
for catching them here today in this final round
and
of
we had
action.
every person available
Here we are at the second tee.
Ernest Roach.
On August 30th, 2014, we learned that the Ohio State Highway Patrol had located Ernest Roach on foot and now had him in custody.
This one's looking good off the tee.
no, that's
your
going in the
final
bunker.
Going into the interrogation of Ernest Roach, we let him
Fuck's sake!
talk over the details of the night
Oh
that
my
he claims he
God.
lost color around.
Where's all this wind come from?
Luke, even with your happy, sunny disposition, you still can't talk your way out of the bunker on that shot. John,
It was
talk
clear
to
that he
us.
was holding
What do you got for us?
information back.
We're down here on the 10th hole. 20 feet now. It's just getting ready to hit.
Everything you told us about that is accurate.
Oh, almost went in. Attaboy. Good shot.
He really almost seemed bothered by something.
Let's return to live play now.
What you're telling me happened
In
that
the
night
bunker, off the
is
tee.
everything.
You got to make up for a mistake.
As far as
Well, Luke, they birdied the hole yesterday. Good luck today on repeating that birdie.
The more we would pressure him to provide the details we wanted, the more reserved he would get.
our major issue with that.
Oh, that was pure. And this putt's for birdie 3 on the scorecard.
That's a big issue.
He would look away. He wanted to get out of the interview.
Come on.
And smoke a
Oh,
cigarette.
I like the look of this. He
Oh,
just keeps putting a gap on the rest of the field. What a putt to
I
hold.
received a text
Great
message from
shot.
myself
Settles the
informing me
nerves
that a
right
body
there.
had been
Great
found
stuff.
in the Ohio River.
Well, that's worth
At
a
that
replay.
point,
Let's take another look.
Unfortunately, it seemed as if that body to be the body of Eric Burke. Upon learning that information, Detective Scarlett told Ernest Roach that we had just found Eric Brown's body in the Ohio River.
Currently 14 under for the event.
The
At that
lead
point,
continues
Mr.
to
Roach, he
grow.
requested a
This is
cigarette
simply
break.
amazing.
It was clear that he wasn't
Pretty sure this one will
going
be
to answer
buoyed
any
by
other
that birdie back
questions.
at the last. Let's see if they can deliver another one.
I believe we were into the interview a couple hours for the cigarette break. This garage area, obviously the door was closed at the time. Detective Spurlock and Ernest Roach and myself, all three of us just kind of leaned back against this door. Ernest Roach, when we became a little more forthcoming with details about what had actually happened between
That's a high
them
caliber
that
shot.
night.
Second shot here on the third. Choosing the 9
First
iron
brings
here.
Erica down, we believe, down this road,
might need to see.
in this area.
Come on.
They came here, it's probably early morning hours on the 10th, maybe 3, 4, 5 o'clock,
quality
something
shot
like
there.
that, maybe even
Birdie at the
Sunday,
last, this for
as they got here.
another.
When Ernest Roach began telling
this
us
is a
what had
long way
happened
from downtown,
between
but
he
you're
and Erica
closer,
that night,
John.
he said
What's he got in
that
front of you?
Erica had become angry with him
It's looking like this
because
one's around
he didn't
21
provide
feet
him
to
with
the hole,
marijuana.
guys.
The argument between the two of them, he described almost feeling humiliated by her.
Come on.
He
Yes.
With that putt hole, that's back-to-back
proceeded to choke
birdies.
her.
2 in a row there, Luke, getting their groove on.
Currently 15
Back
under
towards
par for the
the
event.
left, and after
And
killing
I don't
it,
give the
and
rest of the field
with
much
the
hope
tools,
today.
she was hiding
Our
behind
leader is
it.
way out in
Indicates
front in this
wasn't
final
something
round.
that he planned out ahead of time.
Let's see
It was
what
done
happens
in
here
the heat of the
on the
moment.
fourth.
Later that day, in the dark, is when he took those items back
Opting for the
and
6 iron.
wrapped Erica Brown's body in a tarp,
Well, this
and
one's right
secured
in
it
the
with
pin.
straps and a cinder block, and placed her body in the Ohio River.
Not a bad
Golf
approach.
flop.
Grab the putter from the caddy.
Golf
Good
flop.
dancing.
Has
Come on.
already made a few birdies
Surely.
today, and this is
Detective
another
Spurlock
good
and I
look.
were responsible for making the death notification to
Let's have a
Erica
look at
Brown's
Billy
family.
Horschel from earlier.
Detective
Let's
Powell,
recap this
she's
long-range
young,
effort.
and I think it really affected her a lot.
The
Solid
car
putt,
arrived at
man.
her house was pretty much in silence between the two of us. To tell them that we had found their 16-year-old daughter in the river is
Line up the birdie
heartbreaking.
putt here.
It'll never get better because there's just times, you know, like my kids will never have her kids.
That's very
to play with,
impressive.
You know, like
Gotta say,
the things you
putting
can
this
do
well from
really
this
good.
distance is a huge
You know,
confidence
I'll
booster.
never get to my sisters.
Still in the lead now after that hole. And I don't know if the rest of the field is up for catching them here today in this final round of action.
That I should have done.
Always positive coming off a birdie. Let's see what happens here.
I just want people to be aware that kids can go off and do things that you would never think they would do. And you really gotta know what your kids are doing online because
This one should find the rough.
online's a totally different world for kids.
If something like this can happen
Rough
here,
it.
and your West Virginia,
Think again.
and you, and it can happen
Excitement.
too.
It's starting, you can hear it.
And now we go to the 13th where this happened just a moment ago. Looking forward to seeing what Tony Finau does here, Rich.
Weeks, Jody Arias has been sitting quietly
All
in
day
this
long.
court.
There's another one.
Let's get back to it, shall we?
Patiently
Coming off a
listening to
hat-trick
the
of
evidence
birdies. That's
against her.
great momentum.
But Jody is no stranger to patience. She has spent the last 4 years in jail, waiting for her trial to
Going with the
start,
pitching wedge here.
and wondering just how she ended up here in the first place.
I've been sitting
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Standing approach shot.
I did have my whole future.
Outstanding.
10 feet to the cup here.
I had everything to lose and nothing to gain if I were to kill Travis.
Travis Alexander and
This one's
Jody
tracking.
Arias seemed, by all
And that's their
appearances,
fourth
to
birdie
be
of
a
the day.
perfect
Gotta
match.
say,
One of the
putting this well
questions
from
we
this
asked was
distance is a
totally,
huge
you know,
confidence
playing
booster.
around. You know, is she
And
really
stay
is
right
nice?
where they
And
were
what
in
did he
today's
say?
rankings
Did they
after
know
that.
she really
And
is
I don't
nice?
give the
You
rest
guys
of the
have
field
never
much
met
hope
anyone like
today. And our
Chris
leader
and
is
Sky
way out
Hughes
in
thought
front
their
in this
good
final
friend
round.
had struck gold when he found Jody.
We thought they'd get married initially. Oh yeah,
Right away.
Right away.
You couldn't not like Travis. He was a really cool guy.
Living just outside Phoenix in Mesa, Arizona, Travis was single,
Going
successful,
with the
and
hybrid.
as a devout Mormon, spiritual as well. It
Thanks.
was a good life for a young man, a long way from the life he had as a young boy.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Growing up on the
Good
wrong
shot there.
side of the tracks
Slim
in
chance for
Riverside,
birdie,
California,
But in all
Travis was
reality,
one of
2
7
putt for par
kids
would be
being
just
raised
fine.
by parents addicted to crystal meth.
Both our parents are pretty poverty stricken, and Our parents divorced when we were pretty young.
Travis's sister Samantha and brother Steve.
And at times I've lived in a tent at a campground.
The children were rescued by their grandmother Norma, who took them in and introduced them to the Mormon community.
Out here. Let's see if he can make it.
Travis raised himself from this darkness, and he became like this bright star.
Hey, that's a
Chris
chance.
Hughes, a fellow Mormon, was so
That's well
impressed with Travis that he offered him a job.
I liked him, I
Now that finds him in first place.
Hughes added
And I don't know if
Travis
the
to
rest
the
of the field
sales
is up
team
for
at
catching him here
PGA
today in this
Incorporated,
final round
a
of action.
company that sells legal services
You've
and
arrived at a
insurance
par
to people
five.
who can't afford lawyers.
He was such a powerful motivational speaker that, he could move us to tears.
On the surface, it seemed they had little in common. Jody was raised in the quiet community of Wairika in Northern California.
My childhood was almost ideal. I have a big family, we're all very close.
But they found a strong connection in their
Lovely
drive
effort,
to
Matt.
succeed.
Time to take a look at Ian Poulter's effort.
Really do amazing things in our lives.
In no time, Jody began to make his world her own.
This would be a great up and down. Go ahead and make it.
Book of Mormon, and just challenged me to read it.
She was moved by the words she read and decided to join
And that
Travis,
will take him
converting to the
to
Mormon
under.
faith.
We grew closer and closer, and it was the natural progression, I think.
Okay, let's get back to the action. Second shot here on the
But this
7th.
couple had a big obstacle to overcome. 400 miles of open road. Travis lived in Mesa, Arizona, while Jody was a 5-hour drive away
Looks to be
in
going
Palm
with a
Desert,
hybrid here.
California.
Down.
Get down.
But Travis
It's
overcame
too
that
hard
obstacle as well. He took his relationship with Jody on the road.
He called me up one day and said, "There's this great book that I found, and it's 1,000 places to see before you die."
And here we are with
And
the
so we
third
began
shot.
to check those places off the list one by one.
But it turns out that Travis and Jody were doing a lot more than just sightseeing.
There was an attraction, and it found an outlet on occasion.
That's a very creative way of saying it. It found an outlet.
Most young
Come on.
couples would call that outlet sex.
Oh,
But for Travis
I
and
thought it was
Jody,
going in.
as
That's
devout Mormons,
fantastic
sex
attempt from that
outside of
distance.
marriage
Shame it didn't
was
go.
taboo.
I would come
That was a well-played hole. Take the birdie. And this is quality play.
Celibacy is
Still
one
on
of
top
the
of the
basic
leaderboard.
tenets of the Mormon faith.
And I don't give the rest of the field
One
much
that,
hope today.
as far as his
Our
friends
leader
and
is
family
way out in
knew,
front in this final
Travis
round.
took very seriously.
We've arrived
You know, it was
at
a
a par
core
4 hole.
piece of Travis's belief to not have any kind of sexual relations with anyone that you're not married to.
Taylor Searle, Brent Hyatt, and Aaron Mortensen knew and respected Travis as a close friend and fellow Mormon.
We all looked out for Travis, and we wanted him to find and settle down with a great girl.
So it was important for him to be married to a
Perfect
woman and
shot.
remain in the church.
Absolutely.
Whoa,
That was
dodgy
one of his
baits
goals in
again.
life, was to find a girl that was.
Oh,
you know,
fuck off.
natural.
Sometimes he hits some good ones,
Yeah,
sometimes he
When
hits
I
some
met
bad
Joyce,
ones.
she kind of
Oh,
announced herself as
Jesus.
his girlfriend.
It's time to head back down to the
And
fairways,
that was a
John.
surprise
What's
to
up,
me
mate?
at the time, because I thought he was
Awful
had
baits.
interest in some other girls.
Players left with the opportunity to get up and down
And
here from
Jody
the
was
sand.
beginning to realize that as well.
Oh, well, that's
There's
incredible.
sort of a distinctive
And for
feeling
birdie
that comes when you have that sneaky
Bunker shot,
suspicion
no
of something
bother
not
whatsoever for
so
this player.
monotonous.
They
Did you
find
think
the
he was
bottom of the
cheating?
cup.
I had a suspicion.
Still a chance to attack this hole.
I grabbed his phone while he was taking a nap,
It's
and I
gonna
started
be
reading his text
challenging
messages, and
to
I was really shocked
replicate
with what I
the birdie
found.
from yesterday.
And that's what basically ended his relationship, whatever it was, with Jody.
Well, not exactly. Shortly
Dang.
after the breakup, Jody made a surprising decision. She packed up her belongings
Not a bad
and
approach.
moved
Don't
not
be
further
funny.
away,
This
but
one here,
right
this
under
is for
Travis's nose
back-to-back
to
birdies,
Mesa,
moving him in the
Arizona.
right direction.
A
This
move,
putt
she
was
says,
about
Travis
16 feet.
strongly encouraged.
There were also some innuendos, I think, as far as we could still hang out.
Does hang out translate to have sex?
Get in.
Um,
With benefits?
Sort of.
And they'll walk away with a par on
As
this
far
one.
as anyone could tell, Jody and Travis were just friends. Their true relationship was still their
And
little
after that
secret.
performance, they'll
Nobody
stay
really
right where
knows
they
what
are
was going on
in the
behind
standings.
closed bedroom
And I
doors,
don't know
except
if the
for
rest of the
mine.
field is up for catching them here today in this final round
This
of action.
relationship was about sex.
This hole
It
is a par
eventually
3.
became sex.
But Jody says that she was becoming increasingly uncomfortable with a sexual relationship that seemed to be going nowhere.
You know, you love someone, and it makes you, it's hard to think, I really love this person, but I know I'm not going to be with him, and I know I'm not going to marry him. And so I knew that I needed to make some changes.
What the hell?
Early in 2008, Jody did just that.
And coming up well
Doing
short.
them both a favor, she moved back home to Wairika, leaving Mesa and Travis behind.
You know, when she moved back to California,
That's almost
that's
a
when it
gimme.
really seemed
Great
to
shot.
him
Judging it
to be
beautifully.
a closing point where, okay, finally
Yeah, well
that chapter of my life
Let's
is
move on to
over.
the next. Here we go, Rich.
But
In the
as
lead,
it turned
late in the
out, the
championship.
story of Travis and
Exciting.
Jody was far
Could be
from
some
over.
trying times indeed. Tough holes lay ahead, but yes, you're in the position that you want to be ahead of the
Mr.
pack.
Alexander did not die. Calm. He fought.
Oh, seems to have got a big piece of that one. Striped.
Travis, like, he seemed genuinely excited
What the heck?
when he told me that she had moved back to
Conan.
California.
And let's
said,
take a look at
you
this
know,
shot
Jody finally left.
moments ago. Tony Finau has got plenty of power.
Jody
He's
Arias,
also got plenty of
1,000
finesse.
miles away, back home in Wairika, Travis Alexander's friends believe that he was
Oh,
on
that's a
the
sensational moment. Mark that down as a highlight today.
One of the last conversations I had with Travis, he was telling me about the conversation he had with Jody where he told her, you know, it's over.
Let's return to live play now.
Uh,
Second shot
you know,
here on the 10th hole.
this is it.
But according to Jody, there was a
Looks
big
like they're going with
difference
the pitching
between
wedge.
what Travis said
That's
and
pretty
what
handy shot.
Travis did.
He would call me at night, and we would
A
tell
wonderful
me
shot. And a
the
chance
things
of
that he
birdie
would
here
like
on
to
the
see
10th.
happen when he came up to visit me. To put it
He's
in a
not-
G-rated manner.
It's about 10 feet from the hole.
It would
Their
seem
short game
that
today
for
has
Jody
been
and
absolutely
Travis, old
sublime fun
habits
to watch.
died hard.
He was originally going to come to see me at the end of May, so we're going to see Crater Lake and the Oregon coast and hopefully catch a Shakespearean play.
You're saying
This
you want
one's
to end
dialed
this
in.
unhealthy relationship.
They're in
And
for
yet, A,
that.
you're
Good
still
birdie.
making plans to get together and travel.
And B, you're still showing up for
He's currently sitting in first place.
sex.
And I don't give the rest of the field much hope
It's hard to
today.
take Travis
Our
in.
leader is way out in front in this final round.
But when Travis
Here we have
postponed
a
his
par
trip,
five.
Jody planned a road trip of her own. First to Los Angeles to visit some friends, and then on to Utah to spend time with potential new love interest Ryan Burns. Like Travis, Ryan worked
Oh,
with
well
Chris
struck.
Hughes at
This
Big Hit
drive's
Legal.
heading for the fairway in
And
my
like
eyes.
Travis, he was also Mormon.
He was another rising star, you know, just like Travis. And
Here we have the
they
second
met
shot in the
at
middle.
at a breakout session we were doing.
He and Jody?
Yeah, Jody and Ryan, and they had created this
It's a
phone
brave one.
relationship.
Driver off the deck.
Ah,
When
it's too
Jody
hard,
hit
is
the
it?
road on June 2nd, she says she hadn't heard from
Stop.
Travis and had no plans
Stop.
to see him.
Oh,
As it turned out, no one else would see or hear from Travis for nearly a week.
Getting ready to play their third.
Oh my God. 911 emergency. A friend of ours is dead. We haven't heard from him for a while. His roommate just went in there and said there's lots of blood.
On June 9th,
Come on.
Travis Alexander
Yes!
One
was
had eyes
his
from the whole
friend.
way.
What a shot! Eagle!
So
We got a
good.
phone call
We
at 4
need to have
a.m.
another look.
Said hello.
Absolutely
and he
amazing.
said, Chris, something
Not
terrible
a
happened.
stunning
I
shot.
said, "What?" And he said, Travis is dead. And you know, I remember just going numb.
And maintaining top spot
The
on the
majority of the
leaderboard.
time,
After that. And I don't know if the rest of the field is up for catching them here today in this final round of
It
action.
was clear to lead homicide
find
detective
ourselves on the
Esteban
tee of a
Flores
long
when
par
he first
four.
entered Travis's
Eagle
house.
on the
He
last
was
hole for
going
this
to have his
player. Let's
hands
see if
full.
they can't build on
There's
the
obvious
momentum they've
signs
created.
of blood on the carpet. As you go in further, we found other signs of maybe a struggle or something in the hallway leading into the master bathroom. And once you go inside the bathroom is when you can see the body of Travis and the finished line.
Months after after Travis Alexander
Second
was
shot
murdered,
here
there
on
is
the 12th.
still clear evidence of the savage attack that took place here. Evidence that was gathered during an intensive crime scene investigation, which included the discovery of a blank palm print right here. Now, police have removed that section of the wall because they are convinced the palm prints belong to the killer.
That's a
We
shame.
spent 3 full
Had a
days
chance to
in
hit
that
the
house
green, but
because we
couldn't
did
quite
not
get there.
want to miss anything.
And what a rare
Anything that could
miss
lead us to the
today.
person that
They've
took
been
place.
so
What type
good
of
with their
evidence
approach
did you
shots.
find in the master bedroom, the bath, that hallway?
Well, obviously we found
Come on.
blood, and that was very important.
Turn.
We also found hair
Oh!
follicles,
Looking good, wasn't it?
and we
And that
found
should secure
a
the bar. Well
showcasing
done.
from the bullet.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard.
We believe that we Travis had been shot, and that shot was in the face.
But surprisingly,
Let's
that
take a look at
wasn't
JT
what
just a
killed
little
him.
while ago.
What specifically killed Travis?
Well, the autopsy report says that we had one single stab wound direct center to his chest, which hit his heart.
Third shot now.
And then he had a cut across his throat as well.
It would take Mesa Police Department's state-of-the-art forensics
Good
lab
stuff.
weeks to process all the evidence gathered at the scene.
And with
It
that
only
hole
took a
behind
few
us,
days
let's have a
for
look at the
news to
contenders
reach Jody.
and the pretenders.
A mutual friend called us, but he didn't tell me anything about Travis's.
Let's see what happens here at the 13th.
Something is wrong, and I don't know what it is yet. But there are some police at Travis's house.
But Jody already knew what was wrong, because she says whoever killed Travis also tried to kill her.
Oh,
Everything just stops
fuck.
when you.
Sake.
Tad
When
disappointing,
someone else
isn't
is sitting there with
This
an
lie's
gun
not
to your
great.
head, deciding your fate.
It's fucking second time that's happened.
When Mesa, Arizona police
Banks, come on,
responded to a
Banks.
911 call at the home of Travis
That's good.
Alexander, they discovered a scene
I'll take that any day.
That's beautifully judged.
And
Like the rough.
Shots that I like the most, that one
that
ranks
would
right
take
up there.
years to unravel.
Good look at
The police
Birdie
know
here.
what happened. They know that on June 4th of 2008, the defendant is there with Mr. Alexander. Even though they've broken up, even though she's in Eureka, somehow she's there in his house in Mesa,
This is a
Arizona.
good shot.
Oh, yes.
In
He's making
2008,
this look
Jody
easy.
Arias had a
Keeps
very good
surging ahead.
explanation.
Birdie from out the rough.
In Travis's house
Still in the
that
lead
day.
now after that hole.
Even to this day,
And I don't give the
know
rest of the field much hope today. Our leader is way out in front in this final round.
And
But now
that's when
teeing
I really
off
began
on
to
this
try
par
and
4
remember
hole.
and relive that day.
Arriving in Los Angeles on the first leg of her road trip, Jody found herself once again in familiar territory, and once again faced with a familiar dilemma.
I called Travis and I told him where I was. He, of course, said, well, you can always swing by Arizona.
Looks like
and
they
have
put a
something
good
to
swing
do."
on that
And I
one.
thought,
That
no,
should
I'm
find
not
the
gonna
short
do
stuff.
that, you know, and then I started thinking more about it, and I thought, what the heck, you know, it's not too far out of now.
Despite the fact that she was
Time
expected
for the
in
second
Utah
shot
the next
at the
day,
14th.
just after midnight on June 4th, 2008, Jody Arias was on the road to Mesa instead.
So I arrived around 4:30 a.m. and he was in his office watching some videos on
Opting for the
YouTube.
hybrid, I
Travis
think.
and Jody talked for a
Down.
bit, and then,
Down.
she says, both exhausted, went straight to sleep.
We woke up around, I'd say 1 o'clock in the
Not bad,
afternoon.
not bad.
When we woke up, we had
You
six
hit a beauty,
cats,
didn't
and
you?
one in his bed and one's in the dog
13 feet to the
downstairs.
hole.
And then, just like old times, they pulled out the camera.
We decided to do another photo shoot where we were going to just get him in the shower, but these were waist-up shots, you know, tasteful shots.
Go on,
He was-
get it.
Lovely.
he was in the shower.
And that's
So it was
8
fun.
birdies
It was
today.
really just a lot of-
I like
really
it.
a lot of
2 in a row.
responsibility.
He's feeling it.
And just keeping it in
Apparently, it was
neutral
just
on the
a lazy
leaderboard.
afternoon
And I don't know if the rest of the
playing
field is
games.
up for catching them here
Until
today.
Jody
This
says,
final round of action.
all hell broke
Coming
loose.
off the birdie,
I heard
proud of themselves, a
a
chance to
really
keep it
loud,
rolling.
pop, and the next thing I remember, I was lying next to the bathtub, and Travis was screaming.
Without warning, Jody says someone or something had knocked both of them to the floor. leaving her dazed and confused, and Travis badly wounded.
Looks like this one's heading safely for the fairway.
Oh, come on, Baines! I knew that was going to happen. Fuck's sake!
She was suddenly face to face with two
Bastard.
intruders, a man and a woman, disguised.
Let's take a look at this shot from just a moment ago. Ian Walter comes up with a beauty here.
Their hands and gloves, they had long sleeve shirt on. They were in all black. He was wearing jeans. They had skin in his
I gotta say,
Travis
his
was
short
on the
game
floor in
is
his
one of the
bathroom.
best in the game.
And as soon as this guy left, I just got up and I
Pretty straightforward shot about what you
Yeah.
expect to see from
and
this
she
player.
fell over him.
Did she have a weapon?
She had a knife in her hand, and
Had he been stabbed?
I could
Playing
only
this shot
assume
from the
yes, but I
sand.
didn't see her.
Yes,
so-
difficult light made a par here yesterday.
He had
A
some
little
blood
bit more
all over the
difficult
floor,
today.
And there was some just coming down on his arms. And I started pulling on Travis, and I said, "Come on," and he kept saying, "I can't," and then he said, "I can't feel my legs."
Before Jody could do anything to help Travis, she says that she was suddenly outnumbered again.
And the guy came back in and got really angry at me, I guess.
Oh, come on.
And eventually he
Get up there, come on! That's it, that's it.
was holding the gun at my forehead.
Well, that's showcasing their power there, Rich.
Two big hits there, knocking it on this par 5 and 2.
To kill me.
Oh, you set
It
yourself
was
up with
a
an equal
terrifying
opportunity.
scene. And if what Jody says is true, what happened next is nothing short of a miracle.
And he pulled the trigger.
Whoa, what a length.
With the gun. And so I just grabbed my purse, which was on the floor at that point, and I ran downstairs and out of there, and I left him there.
Come on! Get up there!
An unbelievable getaway.
You get in the car,
Oh, God, that was close.
and you drive away, and where do you go?
I drove
75
this
feet.
into the middle of the desert.
But what is truly unbelievable is that Jody says she left Travis critically injured to fend
Hang on, this
for
looks pretty
himself.
good.
Yes!
Did you call me?
And the punt will go. What a great display of resilience.
Take
on
that
this
all
hole.
day long.
Yeah, in the bunker, off the tee, great recovery.
Currently in first position.
3 holes remaining, folks. Hang on to your hats. This is going to be a wild and woolly finish.
I was terrified and I was scared for my life. And I think there was a naive belief that I could pretend like it didn't really
Ah,
happen.
shit!
Which is just what Jody did when she got back on the road and headed off to Utah.
Actually, not a bad shot, actually.
Someone, Ryan Burns, not for help, but to say that she was on her way to keep their date.
Well,
She made one
you can
other
see
call
why he's
as
leading.
well.
That was
To
a
the
shot of
one
high
person
caliber.
who is in no position
Start
to
coming
help
up
anyone.
is for birdie.
I thought I'm gonna call Travis. And it just went to voicemail. And I called him again and went to voicemail.
Was he alive when you left?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because he was still sort of on his hands and knees the whole time until I ran from the room. So
And with that, you can go and put a par on the card.
Jody spent less than 24
So,
hours
after
in
that
Utah
hole,
with Ryan
this
and
is what the
others
leaderboard
before
looks
heading
like.
home to Wairega.
No movements
Never
up or
told
down on the
anyone
leaderboard for this
about
player.
the horrific
2
ordeal.
holes to go, Luke.
To this day,
Can
Jody
they hang
claims that
on?
She is
Let's
consumed
find
with
out.
guilt for leaving
This
Travis
has to be one of the
behind.
more difficult holes in
You
golf.
never
The
called
long par
anybody.
4.
You never told anybody. You never did anything. And it wasn't until 5 days later that anyone even knew the guy was missing.
I'm really ashamed for the way I left him there. And I know that people will look at me and say, oh yeah, he really meant a lot to you, didn't he? By
Not a
the way
bad
that
line,
you
this one.
left him there. Not only that, is that they don't even think that they think that this is a fabrication.
Jody would soon discover that
Second
she
shot here,
couldn't have
number
been
17.
more right.
I knew that it was murder. I knew it was. I knew it. I knew something in my heart. I was like, something really bad. And I immediately thought, Jody.
Do you believe Jody Arias' story
This one
about
looks
the
just a
break-in?
fraction too long
Chat
to me.
now with correspondent Maureen Mocker on Facebook.
Well, that's right out
Not
of the top
bad.
draw. A great shot from our leader.
The iron play today has been absolutely
You just saw
stellar.
this round of
Luke, the
testimony.
greens
Over the course
regulation,
of the
just
Jody
a
Arias trial,
fantastic
dozens of
accomplishment.
witnesses are
Great to
expected to
watch.
testify.
I met him
Always
through,
love these opportunities, especially when
The
it's for birdie.
prosecution
Please take a look at Exhibit 275.
and the defense. But from the
Come on.
beginning of this case, every
Yes!
Alexander seemed to have
Beauty.
the same answer. Jody Arias.
And still in top spot after that hole. Keep it going. And I don't give the rest of the field much hope today. Our leader is way out in front of this final
When the
race.
Mesa Police Department began
This
its
is when the
investigation
adrenaline really
of
starts to
Travis
kick in.
Alexander's murder,
Leading the tournament with the final hole to play.
they had a
Good luck.
house full of evidence
It looked like
and
it came out of
one
a cannon.
very strong lead.
First cop I saw, I pulled out my computer and I said, this girl. I'll check her right away.
Lining up from about
Which is
230
exactly what
yards here.
Detective Esteban
Wind's
Flores
blowing
did.
from left to right.
I received
Try and
information
hook
she
this
was
one
on
in
a
the
road
wind to
trip.
slow the golf ball
It
down.
just happened to be around the same time period that Travis was killed.
Flores tracked Jody down at her grandparents' house
Interesting
in
choice of the
Wairega.
driver here.
I called her in for an interview.
Too hard.
And, asked her to come in for fingerprints and DNA samples.
Did you tell him the story?
No.
Oh.
And here we are with the third shot.
I think that I was wise enough to know that coming to him with that story at this point
Oh, that's
would
right. It just
feel like
missed the hole.
implicating myself.
Well, that was fantastic.
She had
What a
told
shot
me that
from
she
the
was
leader.
never here. She had
This
told
is
me the
why they
last
put
time
in
she had
hours
seen
and hours of
Travis
practice.
was in
A
April.
putt to win it all.
Well, I had obvious proof in my hands that she was here
It's
on the day
tracking.
he was murdered.
And down it goes. The victory for the
Champion!
Having to build another
Travis
basement,
used a
Luke.
washing
He's
machine.
racking up the hardware.
One of the items that we recovered
And let's have
from
another
the
look at
house
that one.
was a digital camera. And it still had a digital card in it. It had been erased.
That had been erased.
Yes.
But there's erased, and then there's erased. The memory card was sent to the Mesa Police Department Crime Lab to see if any
Well, that'll just
information
about
could
do
be
it. On
recovered.
behalf of Rich B, I'm Lou Gilman. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward
Called
to
me
your
up
company
and said, you've got to
next
come
time.
down here. I have some photos you need to see. And we were just all amazed.
What they
Jesus, that's a pure. Ugh.